Hello and welcome back to the Fan Pub. It's Sean and Al here. We're back for another player profile video, but this time rather than us choosing them, somebody from the comments has chosen. That Sniper, I believe, has given us two fantastic suggestions. We're going to start with his first suggestion for this video and talk about Kupp for this year. Coming back from an ACL injury. What are your thoughts, Al?
I'm a fan of Kupp. I think the Rams really missed him when he went down.
Yeah.
I think he really makes them tick. He plays out the slot. He seems to get open quite a lot.
Yeah.
Me and you were talking, I think last week, and we were saying, you said, look at this video. Look at the way he's turning on his knee. Doesn't look like he's got any. I
was really worried about him up until about that a week before the video came out. That comment came out. I was thinking I wasn't really too sure, and this video had arrived just about 3 days beforehand. And I was looking at the video. Normally, when you see videos of players recovering from ACLs, it's always running in a straight line.
Yeah, which means nothing, does it?
It doesn't. It's great that they look back, but until you see him cutting and turning and actually manoeuvring around really sharply on that knee, you've got no idea what's going to happen. And I looked at the video and I was kind of shocked that somebody can recover that quickly and so well from an ACL tear. This guy looks 90% of the way back. I mean, and that's with a month and a half before, season really starts. So out of all the players that I should be concerned about or thought, I'd just cross him off my list. I've suddenly had to reevaluate really quickly and think, he's a steal at his round. I mean, his ADP is so cheap. I mean, he is an absolute steal, what he could do in that Rams offense.
Yeah, I definitely rate him. I mean, the one thing you can do, if you are worried about the injury, you can pick up Josh Reynolds fairly late in any draft.
Shout, yeah.
And he covers, if Brandon Cooks, if Kupp or Robert Woods go down, he's the next man up.
So I thought what was going to happen is I thought Robert Woods was going to be the kind of clever play in the Rams offense. I thought that was the one to target for this season. But with Kupp looking, as I say, 90% of the way back, and arguably probably they're more dynamic. They're three great receivers.
Yeah, I mean, Cook's
great receivers.
He always stretches the field. I mean, he had his lowest touchdown rate last year. He still put up pretty good numbers. So
yeah.
Let's play devil's advocate for a minute.
Right.
If the running game struggles, say if Gurley isn't ready and isn't fit, and Henderson doesn't hit the ground running, does that affect this throwing game? Does that affect value in any way?
I think it affects all of them, because I think the key for Goff to not receive pressure and why he thrived so well under that first year of real coaching from McVay, first true year of coaching under McVay and year of development, was you didn't have as much pressure as other quarterbacks have faced. So he was able to pick his targets out. You had a bit more time back there because people were frightened of the running game, rightly so, because Gurley was electric and has been electric 3 out of 4 years. If Henderson, or whoever it might be, it could be Malcolm Brown, but I suspect it's Henderson, picks up the slack, then as systems go for the Rams, they've got another chance and they will go close because they've got all the pieces in play. Their defence is rock solid behind Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, arguably the player of the year last year for me.
Aaron Donald.
Sorry, Aaron. What did I say? Sam Darnold. Where's that come from? I do apologise.
I don't know why the Jets
sorry, Jets fans. I got you excited for a minute. No. Aaron Donald, sorry. I don't know why I said that. That's really weird, but there you go. I actually watched the tape on him this morning. I was that impressed, but I've still got his name wrong. That's a common thing over here for me, so I do apologise.
But I think everyone knew what you meant.
Yeah, well, thank God they do. Thank God they know. That's it. They've accepted my fourballs and everything that goes wrong. Yeah, so anyway, coming back to the point of this, Rams have an electric defence led basically by him. And, when you've got all those pieces in play, then everything can tick. So with Kupp coming back, I think that's really exciting for the Rams. Everything looks right for me. I really can see the Rams going close.
Maybe we'll save this for another video, actually.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Well, he's worrying. He's not my ideal trigger man. And I mean that with all respect.
Because he does have his fans.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can never pull the trigger on him. He had pretty good numbers last year.
The numbers are fine. In the modern NFL, that's a fantastically, very, very perfect fantasy serviceable.
Let's do another video on Jared Goff, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Save that for another player video.
And then we'll
play devil's advocate. Yeah.
In more depth, but Kupp is a tick from me. I have drafted him already this year.
I think it's a steal. I mean, his ADP is ridiculously low value. Even in the large leagues, he's going so cheap. He could be your wide receiver 3 in a large league, or 4, or even maybe a wide receiver, 5.
I don't think he'll go that low.
But he is going considerably low for a player of potentially 1,000+ yards, 8 to 10 touchdowns. That's so cheap.
I mean, before the injury, he was steadily having a really good breakout year.
Great year. So, I mean, as much as I'm normally very, very cautious of a player coming back from ACL, I still am a little bit reserved. And I would say this, the one caution I would give is sometimes I'm very prepared to go all in, eggs in the basket, really take the risk in fantasy, because it's not real life. As much as people say, oh, you should spread the load, I'm not so sure on that sometimes. I like to go, it can reward every team or it doesn't reward every team. And with a player like this is one to be cautious of. So maybe 1 or 2 teams I'd load him into, but not all of them, because he's an ACL.
And anyone coming off an ACL.
Yeah, you've got to just be a tiny bit cautious. As Al said, he's already highlighted the brilliant play. If you took him, you could probably target Josh Reynolds late as a little supporting cast player in case he's not all the way back and anything happens. And you would know pretty quick within a few weeks whether he looks all the way back.
And that would only be on a bigger league. I think if you're in a like 8, 10, even possibly 12, you might not even need to bother.
You don't need to worry. And you wouldn't do it if you had a very reduced or small bench. You wouldn't put a player like that on it.
Yeah, but he's a stash if you've got...
With Cooper Kupp, it's just I wouldn't go all in. So, but I would certainly take shares because he's worth a shot. When we say swing for the fences, it's a great swing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be put off by him. Similar to you, I think he's worth a go, but not likely say on every team.
He's got everything you're looking for in a player. Meets the eye test. Your favourite line. I love that line. It's so true. The more I watch of the tape, the more I think, oh, how can I argue with that? I mean, how does he not? He gets separation. He does everything you want. And that was my worry coming back from the ACL tear. I thought, would he be back to what he was? And I love what I'm seeing from that rehabilitation. It's remarkable.
And another year with the same quarterback and the same system.
Once they go into camp, once they take a few hits, if you're drafting later, you'll have a bit of a measure on him. He's hopefully played a preseason game, taken a couple of knocks, and you think, yeah, he's got up and he's moving around fine. Great, he's all the way back, and there's no issues. But you just have to still be just a little bit cautious. This can't be all in.
Yeah, anyone that's had an ACL tear. But then that sometimes gives you the value that you need to get him where you wouldn't normally get him. Because if he hadn't have had the ACL tear, he'd be going a lot higher, wouldn't he?
He certainly would be going inside those top 4 rounds, without
top,
shadow of a doubt.
Top 3.
I mean, if you think about it,
flying.
you could easily put his name alongside players like Mike Williams, Calvin Ridley, and they're much higher up the ADP charts than him. So he has to be up there. He has to be above them based on what he was doing last year. But obviously at the moment, I understand why the ADP is where it is, and great, capitalise.
Okay, what do you think? Is Cooper Kupp a man for you? Are you avoiding because of the injury, or do you think you're going to get a bargain? Because that might well be the case.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts as always, and they do make a difference, as you can see. We're happy to take on board your suggestions, and we'll run with them. So thanks very much.
Yeah, anyone you want to hear about? Well, I mean, we've done a lot of player profiles, so if you want to check out the series, we'd appreciate that. And if you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you enjoy what we do, then subscribe.
We'll see you on the next one. Take care.